And we're back. Well, that all broke. The joys of a B-sod. And that's actually a very, very old screenshot, like 2 years old, if not longer. Oh, thank you, Firstus. I appreciate it. Right, where were we? Ah yes, so we were. Right, so we have an animation here, which should play like this. I'm wondering actually whether or not it needs to be that node instead. Very, very odd. So it will play, it just won't loop. that's got anything to do with those. Shouldn't do. I mean, they're separate animations. Yep. There's a lot of keyframe driven stuff on here. What I'm finding interesting actually is so it's getting that far. It's not getting that far. So the end of the animation is to hide. So why is it stopping at there? Is it that it's not playing at all? Yeah, so it seems to be stopping at the very beginning of the animation, which is weird. There's no reason I can see why it would do that. So it definitely plays. Definitely starts there. Definitely ends there. Let's just use the single track then, because the other other element is on a page of a widget switcher which is not active. I wonder if it's something to do with that. No, it wasn't that. Yeah, in the name of realism, I think we do want to have some minor effect. Nothing too drastic, knocking a bottle off a table or knocking a plant over, something simple like that. The name and the skin of the cat will be fully customizable at some point, in case anyone was wondering. See, this animation plays fine. Let's just see whether we're doing anything altogether different on that. I don't think we are. No. Ooh, I know what we are doing though. The thought has occurred. So we were sharing the same animation for both the GPS and the long range, which means that both of those would be referencing that animation. Although I don't think I've set it up, so... It's referenced there. Ah, right, and it's referenced there. Right, that's probably the one that's breaking it. We're also stopping it there. So I think the issue there is that we are referencing the stop function in more than one place. Yeah, I think it was just a pure logic problem. Now that I've deleted those instances where it actually stops the animation, it should just work. Yeah, there we go. Right, it's not doing restore state, so that's why they're staying lit. So we need to make sure we restore the state on those. That's better. Okay, so we need to kill the animations when we press set. So it works on next, so that's good. And we can swap through those there. Okay. Right, so set needs to kill the animation. This is a test map, Alexander, so you'll see that I'm missing the entire ship. And that's our electrical supply there. Yeah, everything's set up the same, so all of these devices require electricity, but because I've got essentially some infinite supply boxes here, that gives us infinite electric for the bridge. Yeah, for the most part, it's just so that I can make changes and hop in and out of the game quickly, just to see how they're, like, have I fixed something or not. It takes such a long time to load the game from the editor. Yeah. You probably save a couple of hours just by using a test map. Right, so that's working. So that needs to be used. Not there. It needs to be used on the event graph there. So when we press set, there we go. That should clear all of that. We do need to make sure that that's actually referenced here. Yes, it is. So we've got our set, which goes through to there, which goes through to there. Through to here. They shouldn't do, but I'll test that now. So one thing I am noticing is that if you click the edit button, it clears the field. I'll make sure it retains the existing value. Oh, thank you, Delta. That would be funny, actually, having a little mouse that runs out every now and again. So if we set that value, clearly didn't work. So when you press set, it's actually resetting the animation, which means it's not doing this fast enough. It is entirely possible for Jonesy to ride the Roomba. There is a non-zero chance of it happening, but you need him to literally stop walking the moment the Roomba passes underneath. So you're talking like 1,000,000,000 to 1 chance. But it is possible. I'll check to make sure that that bit's working in a sec. Okay, so when we press set, it's not actually breaking the reference to the field. So press set and we can still type in it. So it's not actually doing the thing it's supposed to be doing. Are we even sending the right value? It's definitely the right string. Just double check it in all the places. Definitely the right string. the right string. Okay. So that isn't happening at all. So that definitely is. That is, and that is. So why isn't that one? Let's follow that logic through. Right, because it's coming through a different path. So rather than going through the usual chain of events, it's coming through here instead. Because we're passing that vector value through. Right, which means on here, we need to set that to none on there. Right, hopefully that'll fix it. Hey, Cloud. It's okay, technically this stream's only been running half an hour, because the previous stream, I had a blue screen of death. So, set. Hurrah! Oh, that all worked nicely. So the only other thing we need to do with that, so when we click this one, this one, yeah, we're far removed from that in the UK, but I saw some of the footage on the news. It was awful. I hope you guys are all safe out there. Right. So ideally, yeah, So if we clear the field here, I have a suspicion this might actually prove to be annoying, but let's give it a whirl and see. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, we had quite a big storm here in the UK, and we had a tree go down across one of our power lines, and it took them a week to fix it. So we had a whole week with no electricity. And when you've got 3 teenagers in the house, that can get quite tedious. Yeah, they weren't happy. Oh, these are the long range ones. That's no good. That would explain it. Okay, yeah, so we're obviously we're clearing it, and then we're setting it again. Such is the downside of doing everything all at once. So what we can do instead, so we'll just do a check to see whether or not we're actually on none. So if that's equal to none, room. Stack that up a bit because it's huge. So if none is false, which means we're dealing with an actual selection, then we can clear off that value. And we'll take a copy of this as well. So again, we're sharing this value between the two different sensor modes. That should do us. There we go. Okay, of course it's going to delete all of them. Right, yeah, I suppose the only way to do this really is to it's gonna have to be per one. Put that into the true instead. Right, let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, I like that it keeps the previous value if you don't press set. Okay, much nicer. Well, set is the only way of actually setting. Like, that's the equivalent of the enter key. So the idea really being is you would do like, so minus 28,000, then maybe oh, see, that's an interesting one. Yeah, so that means that next isn't going to save. It doesn't accept keyboard inputs because that takes control away, which doesn't play well. We're going to work on that though. Yeah, so the idea is that you set the values you want to set, and when you press set, that's when it actually uses those values and sends them to the system. So the idea with the next button is you put your values in there, click next, put your values in there, click next, put your values in there, then you press set, which means that the next button needs to inherently set when you press it. So it's basically next and set equally. So I just need to make sure that it does in fact do that. Which means we need this one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so when we press next, it needs to do the same thing. So we actually need to use that one, not that one. Give it that. And we need to use the same vector. Yeah, so you need to make sure that you apply the value before clearing it, because otherwise that's going to cause us a headache. So let's take a copy of that. Or no, we can't do it there. So yeah, we do need to do it this way. Which means we need to add the next function onto there. Just to be awkward. Right, we need to do some shenanigans here. So where we've got next on there is perform some logic. Right, so this logic here, which we're pulling off of here, what we'll do is, well, instead of doing it here like this, we'll do it on here instead. Right, hopefully I can just do this with a select. So if it's X, we go to Y. If it's Y, we go to Z. If it's Z, we go back to X. Anything else should set to none. So we don't do that anymore. Don't think that actually was doing anything either, so cut both of those out. Okay, so edit that one and set. Okay. Next. Okay. Next. Right, so it's going to zero out the value, which is kind of unavoidable, really, because we need to blank it when we go to the next field. So 777, 8, 9, set. Okay. Set. Next. Set. Yeah, I think that's the only practical way to have it work. What we don't have is a cancel, so if I edit that, then that value is truly lost because we don't have any way of backing out. Technically, we don't need the clear, we can just use delete instead. I'll have a think about that one. That actually does work still. Good question. So yes, you can, but you're going to lose one of them because the only way out of it is to press set currently. So yeah, you're going to lose one field. Yeah, I think with it auto clearing, we don't need the clear because if you make a mistake, there is a delete key. So if we replace clear with cancel, then if you click it by mistake, you can then back out and not lose your value that you typed in. Right, so we need to implement the same functionality on here. As you can see, the values themselves carried through as we wanted them to, because the idea there from usability perspective is that you can switch to manual targeting, find a location in the galaxy that you like the look of. Really too high up there, so let's go down a bit. Right. So we found this region. You know, it's got an A-class star. Let's say you're looking for an A-class star. So you know that this sector contains that particular object that you're interested in. So the idea is that armed with this information, you can then go to the long-range sensors, have the same coordinates still there, switch to the manual location, and then you actually got the list of stars in this sector that you've targeted, which means that you can in fact it's way too many. That's probably just up here. Let's go for a smaller value. Right, so So we're over here, obviously, so that's us there. And this is the sector we're looking at, so we know what's in this sector. So we can actually then perform a long-range scan of this sector all the way over here from long-range sensors, which means you can then plot a course to a star that's all the way over there, which is something you're completely unable to do in the current demo version. So once this is all polished, you'll be able to plot a course to any star in the whole galaxy and beyond, and indeed run a survey on that star system as well, to see whether it's worth going over and having a look at. So that needs fixing there. That's probably not hooked up all the way. Zoom still works. Is that still working? Yep, seems to be. Okay, great. Right, we're pretty much getting to the point now of why I wanted/needed to change the data structure around. Which is because when we start targeting the sub-objects, we need to store that data separately. Right, so we don't need that. So we don't need that one or that one. Get rid of them, otherwise I will get confused. See, that's going to need the ones adding. Right, so we list our star systems, our list items. Let's just dig that out a sec. One we need for the planets. So this structure here kind of needs to store multiple versions of it. So if we're selected, we need to go and store that on there. So it might be worth us adding maybe sort of an underlying flag where we can force certain events to happen, like an action flag. So where we've got our button ID, which defines which button's been pressed, an action flag can also define whether or not a particular event needs to happen. I think I will add that. Also rename this. So that is so again, for anyone that missed the last stream, just to explain the naming convention here, a sector is a 100 light year cube of space, so that's 100 times 100 times 100, which of course is a million. So within that 1 light year cube, you have within that 100 light year sector cube, you have a million sector locations, and each sector location is a 1 light year cube, and that's where we spawn things like star systems. So the long range sensors list sector locations within any given sector, and that's what this represents. And then the child objects are these here, which is a large system objects, so things like stars and planets. So we just need to make sure that all those data points are aligned. Okay, CSI, have a good night. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you for sticking with it all the way through the blue screen drama as well. I'm going to be heading off myself soon because it's almost midnight here. So when we click on an object here, specifically those ones, the way we determine which one's been clicked on is we use the galactic coordinates for that sector location, which is just its XYZ. For these ones, which are children of that, i.e. planets, obviously they all have the same galactic coordinates, so we're going to have to use the local coordinates to identify which one's been clicked on, which means we need to do a comparison between its coordinates and the one that's been saved. Crazy Frank, yes, the case arrived today and the components should be arriving tomorrow, so by Wednesday's stream I should have a brand new rig. Absolutely. Early Christmas. Happy birthday to me. Actually, saying that, it will be my birthday in about 26 days' time or so. 27 days. 25th of October, if anyone wants to send me a cake. And if anyone's wondering, I will be 46 years old, which is a crazy amount of years. Oh, happy birthday for 20 days ago. And happy birthday for next week, Cloud. I've noticed actually the average age range for people that are interested in this game is actually quite high. I would say, 30s to 50s is pretty much our audience. Apart from Cloud. Cloud's the odd one out. I think so, yeah. I think, as you get older, you slow down a bit. So I think a game like this, appeals to people that have, I guess, been, growing up on classic Trek and that sort of thing. Oh, happy birthday for 2 weeks ago, Fred. Well, I don't quite have a rocking chair, but I do actually have a blanket on my lap, which is definitely an old person thing. Yeah, it's true. I feel kind of underdressed if I don't have a blanket now. Yeah, 50 is kind of the line in the sand for me as well. I remember growing up, I was at my granddad's 50th birthday, and I remember thinking back then as a child how old 50 was. It's like, my god, he's 50, that's so old. And I'm now only 4 years away from 50, which is quite scary. An electric foot blanket. That sounds like something Claire needs. Do I want to send this to the widget or the blueprint? I think. Yeah, we could do with updating this, really. Because if we update this, then obviously that triggers the replication, which means we can refire this, which means the code here for highlighting it will also run on the client machines as well, which is kind of what we want. So that means that when anyone clicks the list items on the sensors, they will highlight for all players, which is definitely the preferred outcome. That's alright, Claire can be captain, I'll just be chief engineer. That is true. She does get power mad. Claire's better off in the marine biology lab, or she can be ship's counselor. Okay, I'm going to have to restart the engine after adding some additional variables to this to avoid a bug. So I think on that note, that's probably a good place to leave it. So I shall leave it there as it's 2 minutes past midnight. So thank you everyone for watching the stream, and thank you for sticking with us while we weathered the blue screen of death storm. As I said, new parts should be arriving tomorrow, so by Wednesday I should have a brand new computer, so these blue screens should be a thing of the past, hopefully, and hopefully I should be deving even quicker. Thanks everyone. Alright, have a good week, and I shall see you all on Wednesday's stream. Bye for now.